I don't have to worry as much about where the bracket, the wall mount, is going to sit on the wall because this is a 65-inch TV. The bottom of the bracket can only go that far down, nowhere near showing, and the top won't show. And vice versa, if I go to the very top of the bracket, the bottom of the bracket won't be sticking out of the TV. My only other concern is I can't go too low. General guideline is to mount your TV lower than most people think so that you can sit on the couch and not be looking up. Although lots of people mount their TVs above fireplaces and they don't die. When you're trying to determine where on the wall to place the bracket, this bracket doesn't move up or down. So in order to adjust the height of your TV, you actually have to move the TV up or down this bracket. If you look at this as you're going to start on the lowest position, you can only raise your TV. Now, if you were to measure this off so that your TV mounting is starting, say, on this hole, then you would have about 4 inches of room by which you could lower the TV. When you're installing the bracket on the wall, you need to take your measurements for that height into consideration. If you're going to install the TV starting on one of these higher holes, then maybe you install the bracket a little higher on the wall. But if you're going to start out with the TV on its lowest height, then you should probably install this bracket at the lowest position that you would want it on the wall. Okay, put it up, level it on the studs, use a pencil, trace where you're going to put it in. From the bottom bracket on the TV to the bottom of the base is 1.5 inches. Then the bottom of the TV would be 6 inches below that. Based upon the gap that I want, there would be another 40 inches to the floor. So that gives me 47.5 inch height from floor to the bottom of this bracket. So with that said, I don't want the bottom of the TV to be too close to this because there's a slight difference from this side to this side that when there's nothing else against it, it looks level. But if you set something else too close to this edge, as with any border, the closer things are together, the easier it is for the human eye to detect something that's out of alignment or not level. This level is pretty good. I know where my studs are. They're on the outside to those plugs. So it's easy with one hand, hold the bracket, with the other, hold the tape measure when I have the right height, bracket to the floor, pick up the level to check with this. No, it's level. Put down the level, pick up a pencil, put my markings on the wall, and then I brought back the stud finder just to double check where those studs would be. I now have markings for the 4 mounting holes that are needed to hold this to the wall inside of studs. Something else that I had to account for, there's some sort of a cement board above the fireplace. It's able to detect that. I didn't want to drive any screws through that. I figure an inch clearance should be enough. Do yourself a favor. Pre-drill. Drill it 55 millimeters or 2.5 inches deep into the stud. Use a 3/16 inch or 4.5 millimeter drill tip. I have 3/16. Lucky me. The part that it doesn't make clear is 2.2 inches into the wall, the stud. That looks like a piece of wood there. Not accounting for the depth of the drywall. I don't know. Sometimes close enough is good enough. If you're putting it in something more solid, brick, concrete, you have instructions for that. With my trusty Makita hammer drill, XPH07. Is it overkill for this job? Yes, it is. But that's what makes it fun. Let's drill some holes. 2.2 inches. I could probably put it all the way down to the shank, given the depth of the drywall. Probably should have done this before I started. Put 4 screws in the center of the studs. These are the screws from the bag. Pointy end, Phillips size 2. This is the quality of the bolts provided by Monoprice. The first one, I'm just going into studs here, and this one has completely rounded out. This one is on its way to doing it. I just noticed there's actually a square edge to this. It may be that you need to drive it using an impact socket. Round 2, I picked up a 10 millimeter socket, a new screw. Much easier now. But it does say to put a washer in between the screw and the bracket. I forgot the washers on all of them. That is impressive. I am on it tonight. For the record, you put the washer on, the screw, and then you put it in. Oh, easy. Definitely pre-drilled now. Now we can double check for level. That's basically dead on. Just giving it a little tug to fill for any weakness here. Now, just for sake of comparison, you can see there's the level for the Monoprice level. There's my actual level. If you were to use this level, you're probably okay. Doesn't hurt to trust but verify. Then you put the brackets on for flat back screens. Put them in straight and flat. Don't over tighten. And then for recessed back, you might have to use these adapters, which there are tons of them. They give some drawings of different sizes. You can put multiples in. Whatever you need to do to level out. On the last TV I installed this on, the top was flat, most of it was flat, but then it's got the bottom, it had some lip that curved up that kind of got in the way. That was fun. Once you get to that, there's the hooks. This top lip is the lip that you just hook the bracket top on. This is something that, depending on the size of your TV, 2 people is definitely recommended for that part because it makes it a lot easier to see on each side where this is hooking in at. Tilt adjust it as necessary. That's basically it. There's some screws here at the very bottom that you tighten up. But it's really a very simple install.